Taking care of children in the UK is not a child's play. Even though you're entitled to your maternity leave, even if it is 6 months, 9 months, and if you like, 1 full year, have a video on maternity and everything surrounding giving birth to your children in the UK. Just check that video out. Taking care of children in the UK is not for the faint-hearted. Like, you need to think, calculate, plan, bring out your book, plan it before you start having children in the UK. Otherwise, you're going to be in shock. Let's talk about childcare in the UK. Things to help you, what are your best chances, and what are the options, things to expect, and how to go about it. The first option, or the best option that I would think is the best, because that's what I use and that's what I've done. That's how I've been able to avoid paying any dime, any amount of money for childcare, is if you have your partner that is ready to come with you, you have your children, that is going to be your best first bet, because your partner can work. That is one thing about the UK. If one of you is the one who is going to be the main sponsor or the main applicant, that means you have a contracted hours that you need to work per week that you cannot cut short. So you're going to be the one who will have to have a fixed hours, fixed days. Some care homes, some hospitals, some places where you'll be working, they may allow you to work around your partner's rota. Like, my rota comes out like 6 months, 3 months in advance minimum. So those 3 months, I'm able to plan around those my days off. Like, I know when I'm working next week. I know when I'm working in January. I know when I'm working in December. I know when I'm working the next 2-3 months. So I'm able to plan around that. And it doesn't change except in case of emergencies. And they will let you know, they will give you notice if they wanted to cover those days. So your partner can work around the days you're off. You can work around the days your partner is off. I've been very, very fortunate. I've been allowed to work around my husband, and my husband allocation, we don't work the same day. So whenever I'm off, he's on. When he's on, I'm working. You know what I mean? And so we're able to cover childcare that way. Somebody is always at home, and maybe once in 2 weeks we're at home. Both of us, we're at home together. Like, 1 week I work 3 days and the next week I work 4 days. So the week I work 3 days, he has 4 days to work, and the week I work 4 days, he has 3 days to work. So that is just fair enough, and I don't take extra shifts unnecessarily, because I just want to be considerate and giving my husband a chance to also work. So if you have your partner who is ready to come abroad with you, who is ready to travel to the UK with you, that would be your best bet. But it's not everyone who is married. It's not everyone who has a partner that is ready. Even some people are even married, their partner are not ready to come with them. They are not in the country with them. If you get to the country with your children, what are your options? I've seen colleagues that did this. Some of them will go to places where they know they can have the support. They have family, they have friends, they have co-workers that are in the same situation as them. They have young children. I know of 2 Nigerian guys. Both of them are studying. Their wives just shuttle the children and they're still able to work. Once one person's wife is at home, the other one is working. The other one will take the other person's children. So they shuttle their children. And I know some people who also do this. Even as nurses, they look for other single mom or other co-workers that have children, and they are ready to shuttle their children together. When A is working, A will take her child to B's house, and when B is working, B will take her child to A's house. So they just exchange their children like that, and it has worked for them. Although sometimes it may not be reliable, it may not be free, it may not be, because you cannot complain, and it may be hard, it may be difficult, but that is an option for you. Another thing are now the paid version of childminding in the UK, which I can tell you they are not cheap. If you're very rich, that's good, but for someone like me, it is actually not practical, because I have 3 children. It is almost impossible for me to pay for childcare for each of them per hour. I'm going to get into how much each of these childminders, childcare, how much they collect. Compared to whatever I earn, it's just going to be like there's no need for me to work. For children from, let's say, when your maternity leave is still okay, but if you're coming with your child and the child is below 3 months, if you're coming, let's say, children that would need childcare, or maybe between 3 months to up to like 16 years, the UK will tell you there's no specific age for you to leave the child alone because children mature differently. Some 16-year-old behave like a 10-year, some 14-year-old child can even be very responsible and look responsible, behave responsibly, and be able to take care of the younger one. The upper age, there's no fixed age to when you can leave them, but they will usually tell you from 16, because from 16 is when you're legally allowed to do so many things in the UK. So your child should have someone with them as long as they are below 16 years. So once your child is still less than 16, yes, you still need childcare. You still need to watch your child most of the time, at least legally. We have few options. You have childminders. Childminders are registered. You see, the thing is, even though you're a childminder, you're a nanny, you're anything, you're a professional in the UK. In fact, sometimes I'm like, maybe I should even stop being a nurse and go and become a childminder, because these people earn money. They're professionals, they're trained, they're licensed, most of them are registered, they know what they're doing. They will tell you their price per hour, no negotiation. They will only do what is within their job discretion. So they're like mini boss. Not boss like the boss you ride, I mean boss like Oga boss. So yes, childminders are registered, they're like self-employed. You take your children to their house. They may have maybe a part of their room, or one part of their house where they will just be doing that. They may have 1, 2, 3, 4 children that will be coming to stay with them when their parents are working, and they get paid per how many hours you've left your child there. So you take your child to a childminder's house, you understand? They will watch the child for you until you come back, or until you come to take your child, depending on what the agreement is. Then we have nanny. We have two types of nanny. We have living nanny, and we have nannies that will go and come. So nannies, they can live with you, while some will only come, do what you want them to do around the house. They can even clean for you, maybe cook your baby's food, change the diaper, take care of the child, and do minor things within your house. They can also live with you, but you need to pay them, and you need to take care of them. You need to feed them. They need to have their own separate room. They cannot be sharing. They need to have facilities. They need to have everything they need. That is a nanny for you. Then we have the day nursery. From 3 months upward, you can have that day nursery. You're going to be paying. It's a bit cheaper. It's not as expensive as nanny or as childminder. But day nursery, when your child is up to 2.5 in some part of the UK, or 3 years, your child can attend nursery. I have a colleague, her child is just above 2, and she's in nursery. She pays £5 per section per hour, and maybe 2-3 hours you can even hang around. Then you take your child just to expose them to going out of the house before they actually go into the actual nursery. Does it make sense? So you have nursery, you have day nursery. We have the nursery. Depending on where you live, England, Scotland, there's different law to these nursery things. Find out around where you're going to be staying. The part of the country I am, they will only accept your child when the child is 3 years. They will accept the child in the nursery, which is also part of the school. And that nursery, you don't need to pay. Your child is entitled to some hours. It can be 22 hours, it can be 33 hours, it can be 36 hours. So some school will tell you, either you split it into 3 days, or you split your hour by 5 days. Depending on what works for you. Like where I am, you can only bring your child 3 days. So you can choose either Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. You just need to choose 3 days within the week when your child can go in and stay for a few hours, maybe 9 to 3 or 9. They will tell you the time, which is still good. At least those hours you can do something tangible. You can even do morning shift and go back home if you're allowed within those hours. Then you cover the remaining days that is left within the week. Then we have babysitters. Babysitters can come to your house. They get paid per hour. They'll tell you so time they are coming, and you expect them by the door. By that time you can leave. They will stay at home, watch your kid or watch your children until you return. Now let's get to how much they get paid. It may be different from where you are, company by company. I'm just going to be sharing my own experience based on my research and things I think I've asked people and I know. So a nanny will take around £9, 9.5, £10 per hour per one child for 12 hours. And that 12 hours is not going to be the exact 12 hours, because you need time to get to work, and after work you need time to also travel back home or to arrive back home. Those hours, imagine paying £9 per hour per one child, and then you have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 children. Good luck. So they're expensive. And nanny, they can cook, they can clean, like I said, they can stay in, they can be going and be coming, depending on your agreement. They can even wash the baby's clothes in the washing machine. They can do those little things for you. So that's why they're a little bit pricey. And then you have the babysitters. Babysitters can take between £8, £9, even some can take as low as £7, depending on where you stay. And then you have the day nursery. In day nursery, like I said, I have a colleague who is paying £5. Day nursery will take 5.5, maybe £5 per hour. They're still cheap, they're still affordable, maybe. And then you have the child minders. They will take about 4.5, £5 per hour as well. One thing I want you to have in mind is child minding or childcare is very expensive in the country, especially if you don't have anybody to support you. You're alone with those children and you have more than 1, 2, 3 children. It's going to be a challenge. You need to plan around this. That should be your priority. You need to think about this before you even think of traveling abroad. Having children, I used to say, back home is way cheaper, because I remember like my second child, he was just 2 weeks when I started my dialysis specialty training, and we were in the hostel. In the morning I would go and drop him off at the daycare. Go when he's crying, I will go and I will breastfeed him, leave, come back, and when I close by 4:30 from class, I go and pick him up, go back, and it was very easy. There was no problem. How much was I paying the whole month? We had discount in National Hospital then. We had student discount. Was it 30,000? I was paying the whole full month, like a whole month. It was very cheap. There was no bother. Even you can have house help 1, 2, 3, 4, but abroad is very expensive to take care of children. So you need to be very intentional about your children when you're going to be traveling abroad. Like I said, your best option will be your partner, your husband, your partner, whoever your partner is, as long as they're allowed to come and live with you in the UK. Another thing I used to say is you can come into the UK, get a boyfriend. Get a boyfriend. If you're single, bring your child, and your boyfriend can be taking care of the child when you're working. That's an option. That's an option, right? Yes, you can have a partner, a boyfriend, somebody that will be living in your house or that you'll be living in the person's house. Somebody that will just be at home taking care of your child for you if you have a child. And it's an option. If you have a boyfriend, your boyfriend can take care of your child for you if they are in the UK. Your in-laws can come, your mother-in-law can come on a visit visa, your mother can come on a visit visa. I did that as well when I came into the country. After some time, my mom came, she stayed, and we were lucky enough. COVID hit. My mom was in the country for over a year, although her visa was being extended each time by the UK government because there was no way she was going back home. There was no flights were cancelled. COVID was high then, so she was with me for 1 year, and it was really helpful. But normally your visitor cannot stay more than 6 months. 6 months is even too much, maybe 5 months and 1 week. So you only have that gap, that period to have someone with you. When they leave, you need another option. Otherwise, they are still a very good option. Maybe if you're going to have them before your partner joins you, but they're temporary option. Like I said, I have so many colleagues that already that do that. They exchange their children, they keep their children with each other, and they cover for each other. Then they have breakfast club, where parents will just go with the child and you pay for that child to be there before the school will start. Let's say if the child is like a school age, let's say you need to resume work by 8 and you need to leave your home by 7. There are breakfast club where you can take the child, so you pay to cover that period of time before the school starts. They will take care of the child, but then you need to pay for that hour when the school has not started, before they'll go into school, or even after school club. After school club are there to help you from the time the school closes until the time you also close your own work. So those are also available options. Another thing you can do is to work only when your child is in school, but the problem is going to be during holidays. How are you going to manage during holiday if you don't have any other backup plan? Otherwise, you can work maybe every day from 8 to 2 when the child is in school. But after school, what happened? And some school don't even resume very early. Like my children's school here, they resume between to 9 and after 9. So when are you going to get to work? And those are the challenges you may be having. And one thing I want you to notice, you are not entitled to child benefit. I remember when I just came to this country, one of my colleagues was trying to convince me that I'm entitled to child benefit. And in fact, I went to even print a form, but luckily I did not fill it. I asked someone else in Northern Ireland, it's like, don't try it, Gloria. You're not entitled to public fund, because if you look at your visa, if you're on tier 2 visa, it says you're not entitled to public fund. So child benefit is one of the public fund. I've got this question. Sometimes when you have your indefinite leave to remain or your citizenship, yes, you get paid per child, depending on what you're entitled to. But right now on a tier 2 visa, you are not entitled to child benefits. So please don't try to apply for child benefits. Thank you. The tip I'm going to give you is this: as someone who has got children or who is planning to have children, married or unmarried, you need to discuss with your partner when you have them, or if you have them already. You need to think about these things. Somebody will have to be sacrificing that time. Some men, they want to, when they're off, they want to just bugger off and just go around town, drink, club, party. It may not be very possible if you're abroad, especially if you're in the UK, because you need to watch the child. You cannot just be enjoying yourself and not take responsibility for the child you have produced. You and your partner, you will need to talk about this. And these are some of the reasons why most men will tell you they don't want to travel abroad, because they don't want to take responsibility for things like this. Because abroad, there's no way you manage alone. Even if you're going to manage alone, it's going to be very, very, very difficult. So you need to talk about these things before you even move. You need to know that this is one of the sacrifices you need to make for that life you want to live. And speak to your manager, speak to people around you. There must be somebody who is already in your shoe. There must be somebody who is already going through what you're going through, or who has gone through what you're going through, and they're able to share their experience with you. They'll be able to tell you what they did, how they did it to help their life easier, and they'll be able to advise you on how to go around your location. Take your rota to your manager, speak to someone to say, please, can I work this time? Ask questions, but please don't use your child as an excuse to become ineffective at your place of work. You're given that visa because of that work. So try your best to just cover until you're free and you have your indefinite leave. You can decide to work only one day, you know what I mean. But now your child, they're very important, but they should not be your excuse for always calling off sick, always not showing up at work. It's going to look like you're not serious. So you need to talk about these things. Discuss with your partner, plan ahead, be intentional about the things you do. Learn to multitask. You can learn to do things together. When you're cooking, you're sweeping, you're this, you're doing that, because it means you will not have enough time to do everything you want to do and still be okay. Learn to multitask. Another option for couple is you can be working day while your partner will be working night, you understand? So some work are there for you to work. Even you as a nurse, you can decide to work on night shift while your husband work 9 to 5 during the day. I've tried it. It was not for me. I couldn't concentrate during the day because I couldn't sleep. I was on night shift. If I come during the day, I still cannot sleep because my children do not understand that they need to allow me to sleep. They're still too young. You need to go and pick them. You need to go and drop them off. You cannot just have children in this country and not be responsible, because you need to take them to school. You need to go and pick them at some age. You need to be there for their football, their this, their that. It is very, very demanding. Make sure you are ready for things you're going to face so you don't get frustrated. But if you plan yourself very well, I promise you, at the end of the day, it's going to worth it. You're going to pass the stage. They grow very fast. Don't worry. They will grow and they will appreciate all your effort for them. I wish you good luck in all your endeavor. Please, if you're not subscribed to this channel, remember to just press the subscribe button for free. See you later. Bye.